US President Donald Trump stated on Monday that the US will intensify actions against Iran and would go further and further while assuring that military operations would end very soon, helping stabilize turbulent markets amid the escalating West Asia conflict.
We could call it a tremendous success right now as we leave here. I could call it, or we could go further, and we're going to go further. But the big risk on that war has been over for 3 days. We wiped them out in the first 2 days.
Now, following the appointment of Mojtaba Khamenei, son of the assassinated Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as Iran's new supreme leader, Tehran unleashed missile and drone barrages on Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Israel and even Turkey, intercepted by NATO defenses. Iran maintains the Strait of Hormuz blockade, halting most tanker traffic and driving benchmark crude to highs before a partial retreat. Wall Street turned positive on Trump's short-term excursion remarks after over 5,000 targets were struck. France's leading defensive efforts to reopen the vital choke point post the conflict peak, while Russia has vowed unwavering support to Iran amid regional rallies and intensifying Hezbollah clashes in Lebanon. Meanwhile, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, or the IRGC, has declared that Iran alone will determine the end of the ongoing war, rejecting US President Donald Trump's claims of imminent victory and demands for unconditional surrender. Brigadier General Qamar Haider, Deputy Commander of Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, warned that if US and Israeli attacks persist, Tehran will block even 1 liter of oil from leaving the region. He further vowed unrelenting retaliatory strikes and designated all American military bases across West Asia as legitimate targets, signaling Tehran's resolve to impose its will despite heavy losses and the prolonged regional crisis. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi stated on Tuesday that his country would keep fighting as long as necessary. In an interview with an American broadcaster, Araghchi effectively ruled out negotiations with Washington, saying Tehran had a very bitter experience of talking with the Americans. Recalling previous US attacks during earlier negotiations, Araghchi said he did not believe negotiations with the Americans would be on the agenda anymore. Speaking of the strategic Strait of Hormuz, he said that Iran has no intention to close it right now, but as the war continues, they will consider every scenario. And earlier, US President Donald Trump issued a forceful warning on Truth Social, saying that any Iranian action to halt oil flow through the Strait of Hormuz would trigger an overwhelming American response. He stated Iran would be struck 20 times harder than previous attacks and that the United States would destroy easily destroyable targets to render Iran's rebuilding virtually impossible as a nation. Trump described the potential devastation as death, fire and fury, while expressing hope it would not occur. He framed the US military capability as a gift to China and other major oil importers reliant on the strait, urging appreciation for America's protective role amid the escalating West Asia conflict. Meanwhile, Iran's security chief Ali Larijani on Tuesday warned US President Donald Trump, saying the Islamic Republic was not afraid of his empty threats. In a social media post, he said, and I quote him, "Iran is not afraid of your empty threats. Even those greater than you could not eliminate the Iranian nation." Unquote. Now, his remarks came in response to a post by Trump threatening to hit Iran harder if it stops the oil flow through the strategic Strait of Hormuz.